And as you can see, there is our oil cooler. I call it adapter. It's the stand for it. Pretty poopy, but we want to make sure it gets the insides of it. And then I can even blow it out with air if need be. So let's try that. Welcome back to the community, everybody, and thank you all for being part of it. Today, we are going to go ahead and review an ultrasonic cleaner. I always get them for Vever or Vever. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, and they're fine. It's I got one right here. It's a 30 liter. A new company, as you see here, had sent me one and asked me if I would like to try it out. And of course, it's a 6 liter. They do have bigger ones. And this one would, I think it holds 1.5 gallon, which is fine. I like the big one because I put cylinder heads in there, crankshafts, automobiles. Yeah, I can't fit an automobile in one. This one here will be for smaller items, but we're going to test it out. It's supposed to have a Degas on it. I really don't know much about that yet. I do have 2 announcements to make real quick. I know. Hang in there. We have a bug show coming up August 31st. It's called Bug Infestation. Oh, and it's at Geneva, Ohio, at the Geneva Township Park, 5054 Lake Road, of course, Geneva, Ohio, August 31st. And I promise to give a shout out for that show. If I can find something, I'll put it on the screen right now so that it makes a little more sense of maybe where it's at. And also, I wanted to thank Dave from Buster's Travels. He came to the Slades first annual picnic, which we all had a great time, and he drove the distance. You can see his channel here. What a great personality. Beautiful pup by his side. And he says, hey, I have something for you. And he made this for me. I'm going to hang it up on a wall and hang keys on it and different items. I thought that was very, very thoughtful to take out time and bring something to give me as a gift. Not that anybody owes me anything, but thank you, Dave. Okay, let's get on it. All right, let's open it up. Quick opening here. See how it was packaged. Yes, I'm sure some of these videos are boring, but you know what? When I watched a video a while back on ultrasonic cleaners when I didn't have one yet, I was more than happy to watch it. I wanted to see what the deal was. Come on. Professional. Ooh. Heavy duty. Come on. Well, they definitely packaged it good. Okay. All right. Oh, pretty nice. All right. Nothing else in there. Let me get rid of the box. I was looking, gonna do a couple rocker arms, I think. I got some nasty ones, hopefully. What do we have here? It's a tiny tot. But then it is only a gallon and a half, 6 liter. I'm used to my 30 liter. Is what it is. And it comes with our drain hose and parts that you drop on the floor. This goes on to the fitting. Our plug, I have an industrial gauge that I put in there and I test it to see if it really makes it to the temperature. So we have our plug in the back. Looks like the same plug style as a computer tower. Who knows where I got that from. All right, let me plug that in. Here is your warning. Do this at your own risk. But where I'm going with this is once you put the ultrasonic waves into motion, when you hit the ultrasonic button, do not put your hands, fingers, your foot, your head, your butt in this tank. It can cause bone marrow problems and everything. I don't know if everybody's telling you this on the videos for ultrasonic cleaners. Again, do not put any of your body parts in here when it's turned on. And to be safe, even unplug it and wait for like maybe 30 seconds for the electricity to calm down. I hope that makes sense. Something you're going to notice on the basket, and I showed this on my larger version, is you're going to see little rubber feet on the bottom. You do not want the basket metal touching the metal in the tank. So always make sure if these rubbers wear out, you can take a little piece of rubber hose or something and put it on there. You do not want that touching. First, what I'm going to do is I have Simple Green. I poured it in a container and brought it up the garage. It's the HD. I don't have the bottle with me. It's easy on aluminum. It won't make the aluminum turn black, etc., etc. So I got to get some gloves on in a second. Fingers slowly healing. The one I cut the tip off of. Oh, it's almost back. So I'm going to pour the Simple Green in. I have this cut 50-50 with water. The way I have it, the amounts. Now, I heated this water up. Technically, I used hot water, I should say. Now, it says, and I'll bring you up close in a second here. Looks like a little bubble bath. There we go. That's good enough. You'll see a line right here. See that? That is your fill line. But the reason I'm not putting it there yet is I'm sure when I put a part in or two in the basket and submerge it, the level is going to come up. Just like when you get in a bathtub, sit down and the water level goes up. Same thing. So what I have here is a part of the oil cooler from a dual port. So I forgot to take the seals out. Give me 1 second. So before I turn the heater on, check the temperature. Now I did remember I filled it with hot water. Let it climb for a second here. I want to see where we're at. And then we'll flip the heater on while we're getting some parts ready. We are at 92 degrees. All right. We're going to put the lid on. And we're going to, whoop, I guess we need the power on. That'll help us out a little bit there. Okay, heating. Okay, I'm going to turn it up to, we'll do 65 first. There we go. I guess, whoop, no. I ain't reading the directions. Ain't happening. See if it does it on its own when you, okay, that's it. The blue light is on, so it is heating. So we're going to give that about 10 minutes and then we'll check it to see where it's at. This one's nice. It does have pulse, degas, and then of course normal. So we're going to play with those functions a little bit. All right, give it a few minutes and we'll check it. All right, that's been about 20 minutes and we are at 47 degrees Celsius, which is approximately about 115 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll explain something I did in a second, but let's check the temperature to see the accuracy. And we're climbing. We're at 110.
12.
14. Oh yeah, temperature's right on it. 116. It's barely touching 116. So let's put the lid back on because I want it hotter. That is very accurate. I give them credit. That is a very accurate reading. Now, here's the deal. And with my big ultrasonic cleaner I have and the smaller one here, I have found a trick out that I have not heard anybody bring up. This is very important. Always put hot water in first to give it a little jump start. Don't put cold water in, it'll take forever to heat it up. However, another trick, which that one wasn't a trick, it was common sense. I have common sense. When I set the heat on this to a certain level, I turn the ultrasonic waves on, and here's why. When you have that running inside and the ultrasonic blast and all that, it heats the water up quicker. I guess because the water is technically moving around, so to speak. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not a scientist. But when I put the ultrasonic waves on, the heat climbs quicker. So that was around 20 minutes. It climbed a little bit. Let me let it sit for another 15 and I'll be right back. Alrighty. We are at 60 degrees Celsius, which is 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's check the temperature once again, and then we're going to take a little dip with a greasy part. I just want to double check. Let's see the accuracy one more time. Should be right around 140. I see steam coming up. It's getting there. 138. Now some of the heat's going to come out, sadly, when the lid's off. And we are at 140. Hopefully you can see that. Whoop, dropped down. I was out of the chemical. All right. Here's what we are going to do. Get our basket ready. And as you can see, there is our oil cooler. I call it adapter. It's the stand for it. Pretty poopy, but we want to make sure it gets the insides of it. And then I can even blow it out with air if need be. So let's try that. Fits in the basket, nice and neat. Little grab handles here. We're going to sink it down inside. I'm going to pour a tiny bit more in there. Just the tip is sticking up slightly, but I want the whole thing submerged. Head and submerged it all. I don't know. Let's see. These handles are pretty nice. Will the lid stay on secure? No, I don't like that. We're going to go like that with the handles, and I can use a screwdriver to get them so the lid stays closed the whole way. So if you noticed, it's still at 60. We're going to crank it up to 10 minutes on the first run, and we're going to hit normal at first, okay? And when it gets down to about 3 or 4 minutes, I'll bring you back, and I want to hit Degas, I want to hit pulse, I want to see what all that does. So let's burn it down for 5 minutes real quick. All right, we are at 62 degrees Celsius. The unit just turned off. We had 10 minutes on it, and I see some grease at the top of the water / chemical. Instead of me pulling the whole basket out for right now, I feel like reaching in there with the hot chemical. Oh, first pass did pretty good. As you can see, it started cleaning it off already. Very nice. Very, very nice. Now, what I want to do is I want to try the feature that theirs has compared to the one I have. We're at about 149 degrees Fahrenheit. So what I want to try now is the extra buttons that they have, and that would be the pulse and the degas. So we are set. I'm going to turn this down to 5. Put it on normal to get it running. And you may hear a buzz, and you'll have to ignore that right now while we're filming. And I want to see something in it. Wow, that's like turbo. A little hard on the ears. A little weird. But I have tinnitus or tinnitus, so it is what it is. But I'm going to pulse that for a little bit. I want to see what it does. You can hear, I'm not sure if you can hear it or not on video, but it kicked it up like a wave. You can tell it's more intense. Okay, so I had it on pulse. I switched it back to normal. I want to try this degas a minute, and I want to see. Now, the pulse seemed to like turbo it. That's what I'm going to use as an example. It kicked it up. I could tell it speeded up the ultrasonic waves. So I want to see what this degas does. Now the degas seems to kick on and off. It runs for 6 seconds. Seems like it turns off for a couple of seconds and kicks back on, which speeds up degassing process and improves cleaning efficiency. I don't know enough about degas, so I'm trying it to see if it makes a difference. Okay, I'm going to turn the degas off for the last minute. I'm going to push pulse. So I turned the heater back on. I must have turned it off by accident and not caught it. But let's take a look and see the outcome here. I hear it bubbling or something. Yes, there's a basket in there. There went my tool. All right. Now I want to put the lid back on so it keeps the heat in. And we have a clean pair of needle noses that I dropped. I'll tell you, not bad. Because this was heavily greased. Wow. Oh yeah, it's working. It's definitely working. I'm sure we could use a harsher chemical. Let me see something here. Just giving it a little brush before I put it back in. We're going to run it a little longer. Put it back in. I'm going to do some rocker arm cleaning, but I guess there's no point in me filming 50 things in here. I wish these clamps, there was like little indentations here to hold the basket, but I am going to run it that way with the basket elevated a little and the handles. Okay, so we're at 64 degrees. That keeps toggling from 63 to 64. And it's not gone higher yet. And I have it set to 74 now, so we'll see where that goes. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to crank this up to 12 minutes. Well, you know what? Let's do 15. Just a quick note while the machine's running. No, I do not get paid to advertise this. They gave me the product to test it out. So no, I'm not commissioned on this, but there's a link in the description if you do want to purchase from them. That's up to you. Okay, let's get back to the video. All right, so we are down to about 35 seconds. Boink. We climbed to 74 degrees Celsius, and I believe, let me check here, that's almost 167 degrees. Now, I did agitate it with pulse and degas because I'm getting a kick out of using that, which is really cool. So in a couple seconds here, we're going to turn it off. This is the final run I'm doing. Altogether, it's probably been about 1 hour of soak time and a little pulse and a little degas. So always these units buzz. They have to. Boink. A little bit annoying that way. The heater shut off. I'm going to leave that off now because it hit the desired temperature. So let's take a look at this a minute and see where we are at on the temperature. We're hitting, ooh, she's climbing quick. Ow. And we are, let me move it over so I can see it and actually read it to you. We are at 160, almost 168. I forgot what I said now. We're at 75 degrees Celsius, 167. Okay. That is very accurate. That's accurate. That makes me happy. We're at 168 right now. So let me take this out. Trying not to get in front of you. Okay. I'm going to put the lid on because I'm going to soak some other stuff today, but there's no point in filming 50,000 things. Ow! It gets hot. I got to tell you, I think it did a nice job. Let me try to hold it. Let me put a rag around it. I got to be fair. Well, let me turn the light on. There we go. I think it did a fine job compared to what it was. Yeah, I think it did pretty good. I'm just using simple green also. I'm not using a harsh material. I think one more soaking, and I'm not going to do it on film because it's stupid to keep doing that and boring you. But it would take, this stuff's just wiping off with my thumb, literally. Yeah, it is. Unbelievable. I like it. I think the Degas and the pulse on it helped a little. Once I rinse it off, it will be very clean. And the nice thing about it is it cleans all the passages out, and that's what your main thing is. Outstanding. I'm happy with this. Very happy. This actually is the first one I used that had the Degas, the pulse on it. I never even knew that existed until they reached out to me. So I would highly recommend this one. I'm kind of skeptical with products normally, and I tell the companies, hey, you're taking a chance with me because I'm a wise guy. I will tell people something's a piece of garbage. That's why there's a a company that handles chemicals that won't give me no more. Well, it's because I told the truth. But anyhow, the link is in the description down below if you do want to order one. There's different sizes. No, I do not get a commission or anything like that. I do approve of this one. I highly approve of this one. Let me talk to you about a couple of things, and I'm going to leave you go. Enjoy your Friday. So that gets a big thumbs up. I really, really liked it. There's nothing wrong with the other one. I have the Vever. I call it Vever. Not sure the deal with that. This one, I think, was a little step above with the Pulse and the Degas. I am going to do a pedal install is what I'm going to do. I've done rebuilds on them, but somebody said the other day, you really don't have a video on just a pedal removal and installation for the cluster. Okay. Thanks again, everybody that showed up to the club picnic. The first annual was great. I'm reserving a spot for next year with an open invite to everybody that's welcome, because the place will be a lot bigger. It should hold about 300-400 Volkswagens. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. I will see you Sunday night if you made it this far into the video for a live chat. I will put it on a community tab. It will be 9 p.m. Eastern time Sunday night. Have an amazing weekend, folks. Stay happy, be safe, and smile.